Most people think billionaires became rich because they're smarter than everyone else. But what if I told you that's not actually true? The uncomfortable truth is that many billionaires don't work harder than the average person. In fact, some of them work less. Yet somehow, their wealth keeps multiplying. While millions of people work 8, 10, even 12 hours a day just trying to survive, a small group of people seem to operate in a completely different reality. So what's really going on? Is it luck? Is it privilege? Or is it something else, something most people never learn? Because when you look closely at people like Elon Musk, Jeff Bezos, Mark Zuckerberg, and Warren Buffett, you start noticing patterns, habits, small daily behaviors that quietly compound into billions of dollars. And some of these habits are actually the opposite of what society teaches you. Today, we're going to break down the habits that made billionaires rich and how those habits still dominate the world in 2026. One of the first habits billionaires master is something that sounds simple but is incredibly rare. They protect their attention like it's money. In 2026, attention is the most valuable currency on Earth. Every app, every notification, every piece of content online is competing for your brain. Most people wake up and immediately grab their phone, scrolling. Notifications, messages, news. Before their day even starts, their mind is already controlled by other people. But many billionaires do the opposite. For example, Jeff Bezos famously avoided early morning meetings for years. He protected his mornings for thinking, because clear thinking leads to better decisions, and better decisions lead to bigger outcomes. In today's world, the people who control their attention control their future. Another habit that separates billionaires from everyone else is thinking in decades, not days. Most people are trapped in short-term thinking. How do I make money this week? How do I pay bills this month? But billionaires ask a different question. What will the world look like in 10 years? Take Elon Musk. When he invested in electric vehicles, people thought it was ridiculous. Gas cars dominated the world. Electric cars were slow, ugly, and unpopular. But Musk wasn't thinking about that year. He was thinking about the future of energy and transportation. Now companies around the world are racing to catch up to Tesla. That's the power of long-term thinking. And in 2026, when AI, automation, and new industries are growing faster than ever, thinking long-term might be the biggest advantage you can have. Another surprising habit of billionaires is they are obsessed with learning. Not school, learning. There's a difference. Formal education teaches you what worked in the past, but billionaires study what will work in the future. For example, Bill Gates reads around 50 books every year. Warren Buffett has said he spends most of his day reading and thinking. Why? Because knowledge compounds. Just like money. Every idea you learn connects with another idea, and eventually those ideas turn into opportunities. In 2026, when technology evolves every year, the people who learn the fastest will win the biggest. Another habit that billionaires follow is something most people avoid. They build systems instead of chasing paychecks. Most people trade time for money. You work. You get paid. But the moment you stop working, the money stops. Billionaires build systems that work even when they're not there. Take Mark Zuckerberg. When he built Meta platforms, he wasn't creating a job for himself. He was building a digital system used by billions of people, every day, every hour, while he sleeps. Another habit that often shocks people is that billionaires are extremely comfortable with failure. Most people avoid failure. They play it safe. They stay where things are predictable. But billionaires treat failure as data. Look at Elon Musk again. His rockets exploded multiple times before succeeding with SpaceX. His companies nearly went bankrupt. But every failure gave him information. And that information eventually turned into massive success. In 2026, where innovation moves fast, the people who fail faster often succeed sooner. Another habit is something extremely simple, but very powerful. They spend time with people who think bigger than them. Your environment shapes your ambition. If everyone around you thinks small, eventually you will too. But when you surround yourself with people building companies, creating technology, and solving global problems, your thinking expands. That's one reason many entrepreneurs move to places where innovation is happening. Not because of the location, but because of the mindset. Here's another controversial truth. Many billionaires are actually very selective with how they spend their time. They say no more than they say yes, because every yes costs time. And time is the only resource you can never get back. This is why people keep extremely open schedules. They prioritize thinking over constant activity. And in a noisy world full of distractions, thinking has become a superpower. Now here's the most important habit of all. Billionaires understand compound growth, not just with money, but with skills, knowledge, networks, reputation. A small improvement today might look insignificant, but repeat it for 10 years, and the difference becomes massive. That's why so many billionaires focus on consistent habits rather than quick wins, because the real game is long-term momentum. And here's the crazy part. None of these habits require billions of dollars to start. You don't need a private jet. You don't need investors. You don't need connections. You just need to start thinking differently about time, learning, and opportunity. Because the habits you repeat today quietly shape the life you'll be living years from now. If you enjoyed this video and want more content about wealth, success, and the mindset of the world's richest people, make sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss the next one. And I'm curious about something. Out of all the habits we talked about today, which one do you think is the biggest reason billionaires become successful? Is it long-term thinking, learning constantly, building systems, or something else entirely? Let me know in the comments, because your answer might spark the next great conversation. And who knows, maybe the next billionaire habit starts with you. Thank you for watching.